Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. It's time for the February flip through of my tarot journal, my kind of practice, what I've been up to and what cards I've been playing with. So let's take a look. So using my moon diary, it's my daily tarot journal. This is from the flickeringcauldron.com on Etsy, and I have tabbed, so I've put tabs down the sides for those who are not familiar with this diary. And oh, wrong month, that's giving something away, so let's have a look. So we have February, and these now come with the pre-drawn grid, which I used to draw into my other journal. So now that I have it here, it saves me a lot of time and stress. And so this is just me recording the cards that I pulled for the day, so where I've got lines through are days that I've missed or I've just left blank. So there's quite a few in February, because I had some like not very great moments in February. So the point to this one is that I am lessening how much writing I'm putting in my squares, because they were starting to get a little bit full. So the diary is about dragons and herbs and crystals this year. So we have the healing garnet crystal there. I haven't worked with garnet this month, but I do have a beautiful garnet heart upstairs. So I do have plenty of garnet around the house. And the herb was sage, so I have used that naturally. I've used that for various, if I need to do any cleansing, and also my cooking. So I have used it, but not quite so much with the intentions that are set here. So it has been used as a herb throughout the month. Obviously in my stews and things. I also haven't worked with the bloodstones. This one does talk about bloodstone. I have some bloodstone somewhere, but I haven't I was drawn to use it. And of course blue, bizarrely enough in February I do get drawn to the colour blue, so that is interesting. So the colours here are blue, violet and yellow, but I do definitely get drawn to blue at this time of the month, year. So we have a little bit of information about the healing dragon of garnet, and then as you can see, I've expanded on my daily pulls and expanded on my keywords and things here. So I've put extra stuff in there. And then we have some information here about in bulk at the start of the month. And this really rather lovely recipe here, which I will admit I didn't do. What are they called? Curd tassies. Curd tassies? I've never heard of a curd tassie, to be perfectly honest. I think, is it meant to be a tasty? I'm not sure. So it looks like it's some kind of jam tart, I'm guessing. Pre-baked mini tarts. I'm sure you can make that at any time of year. Sounds like an interesting concoction. We have a bit here on the February snow full moon. Get my words out there. And so there's some information here, and then there's a recipe there for some tea. So we've got jasmine, peppermint, primrose, ginger root, green tea, honey and moon water. So it's a great way of using moon waters and things if you like to make those. And you can see, just moving through, we have plenty of mist spaces and our Celtic dragons here. So information about the Celtic dragon. So there is information throughout about the Celtic dragon. If that's your first time visiting and you're not sure what this diary is about, there is a walkthrough, so you can have a look at that. And then we have, so where I've mixed up my days, I've been doing that a lot lately, like kind of writing on the wrong days and getting them all back to front. We have February's super new moon moving into Pisces, and with a little tip on where you can focus your energy. So that's what I like about these diaries. And then of course just going through, and then you've got your new moon, full moon intentions. You've got like your budgets if you want, where you can like track things and costs. And then you can have like notes. So I've actually noted that some very strange energies in February causing things to get stuck in communication or miscommunication. I don't know what was going on, but it's been a very interesting energetic wise. So that's the Moon Diary 2023, and it's huge. They have sold out of these, so I believe they've sold out of these, and maybe a couple kicking around. So if you wanted one, you could try contacting them to see if they've got any more to post out. But bear in mind, we're about to go into another postal strike. Yawn. So into my diary, or my journal. gosh, so I'm still getting all my words mixed up. So I think I explained that I was making the front pages my own by actually customizing them slowly and surely as I go through. So all of this, I think I've explained about where it's come from so far. I haven't added anything else yet. I did see something the other day and I thought, oh, I could stick that in there, but I haven't. So we've done January. Where are we? February. So if I can bring you down a bit, because I know there's bits that you like to see. So this is my real true journal. This isn't a fake one for YouTube. This is my actual journal. Month of February, I've just used some bits of paper that I've ripped up and stuck down the sides, some stickers, and then I've written in, I pull a year ahead on my birthday. So I pull 12 months ahead, and I have a tarot card and a oracle card, and so I've pre-written these somewhere else and I just copy them into the pages. So I've got them if I want to refer back to them as an overview for what's going on for February. Just out of interest, let's see what we've got here. Teamwork, building solid foundations and collaborations. So yep, I have had a lot of teamwork this month. Definitely found some rocky foundations and foundations that need shoring up. That's definitely there. And there has been collaborators in and out of my life, whether I want them or not this month. So yeah, you know, actually some of my thoughts there are correct. And then I've got the Wizard of Awareness. What have we got? Your soul knows best. Be still and observe. Mindfulness. So yes, there's definitely moments. And as I said, like this weird communication thing that was going on this month, more so than I think when we had Mercury retrograde. I've definitely found this a weird month. So that is that. And then I've got my decks that I've used. I did 2 full moon spreads, one which I actually didn't complete and one which I did. So we have the full moon in Leo. This is from minusmoon.com. It's an adapted spread for Path to Happiness that I've written in here. So I think I've adapted some of the questions. It's a 6-card spread, but I haven't actually got around to doing it. So I do need to do that. So it's a great moon. So the Leo moon is a moon for healing, especially matters of the heart. A good time to shake off old habits and promote yourself. So that's what I've written down for that one, but just never got around to completing and putting my information in here. In fact, if I ever do, it's too late now. But I think I would have done a flip down and folded it back up. And then I have my full moon magic spread by the newagehipster.co. That's it. There's no anything after that, just .co. And I used a Tarot of Mystical Moments and Earthly Souls Oracle for this one. And this was a nice one, actually. When it laid out, it looked really pretty on the page. So we have some questions here. Where are you at this full moon? And of course, this is all still relating to the Leo full moon. What needs to be seen? What needs to be released? Energy that you need to call in, intentions to be set, magic to be made. And then I moved on and we've come into this one. So here we are, my weeks ahead, starting on the 6th of February. The reason why it's starting there is because the first part of the month finished on the end of the week in January. So I've been doing it that way around this year. Last year, I think I took the end of the previous month and moved it into the start of the new month. But this just gives me a bit more breathing space to get my head in the game and get my pages together. So I was using Tarot Dealers and the 7 Energies oracles for my weeklies. So just keeping it quite simple, drawing the symbols that are off the bottom of the cards, the name of the card, and they have, I'm not sure if it's, well, it's obviously the alphabet, but I don't know enough about that. So my plan was to start looking into it, but February went a bit pot and a bit chaotic, and I never got to do what I wanted to do with that deck. So whether I'll bring it back out and start again, I'm not sure. But I was planning on using it to kind of do the Kabbalah, the Hermetic teachings, the Tree of Life and all that sort of thing, because I know that all this relates to that. But I just didn't get there. And then obviously my weekly reflections is here. I'm finding keeping my week ahead and my weekly reflections on the same page actually quite useful, because the whole effort of having another page somewhere in the diary to go with the week that's just gone, it takes a lot of time. And now that we're kind of getting busier and back to normal, my life is just not equipped to do that. So simplifying my practice to make it fit is the perfect way of doing that without stressing myself out. Yeah, and the other thing that I do like about this is, although I don't come back to these pages to read years, weeks, months ahead. I can read about it when I'm doing my reflection, like, did any of that actually come apart? Because, you know, what I want to know is like, here's what I thought was going to happen, the overall energy of the week, you know, how I can focus and embrace that energy, what I'm needing to focus about, maybe an issue that might be coming in from the side, and then what, you know, kind of lesson did I miss? Like, what did I miss? What was wrong? How can I move forwards? Those sorts of questions is what I can do here. And then I can see how they match in and out. And interestingly, because, you know, will is free to move in all of us, when I have put this down, this doesn't always plan out. Sometimes it does, and I didn't heed this message. So I don't use this as a set in stone. I use this as a thing to be mindful of throughout the week. And I don't kick myself if I forget about it and something arises. At least when something arises, I can look back and say, yeah, actually, I did put that there and I missed it. And then when I do my reflection, that's kind of where it might come out, if you see what I mean. If that doesn't make sense, and I apologise for waffling. So the lovely Ginger Fae Tarot and Divine Musings on YouTube with Ishi Shinjin did a heart-shaped seed bomb spread, if I've got that right. And this is done on a live, so between them they bring a spread together and then we do it. So this is based on the acronym RAIN, RAAIIN, recognise, accept, investigate, non-identification. There is a reason behind that, and I can't remember, so if I can remember to link the video below, I will do, but Ishi explained all of that, so it does have a background behind it, and it had like a more, you know, serious message to help us nurture ourselves and not, you know, give ourselves a hard time. So doing this one, I actually haven't written down what cards I used. That's crazy, because I know I took a picture. But I haven't put the cards down. I think I might have actually used the Tower of Strange Sprouts or Antlers. I think I might have used that because I believe I was in the other room when I was doing this spread. Sat at the dining table. So yeah, 6 question spread, and you know, you get to share in the feed what you got, what your thinkings are. They'll share with you what they've got and what their thinkings are. And then I pulled a card on the end of it. Yeah, so that was from the Oracle of Black Enchantment. Yeah, it was definitely in the other room with the Tower of Strange Antlers, which I don't have here right now. We have the Ash Tree spread from Longmans Tarot on YouTube. So he's continuing with his series, creating spreads for the Ogham trees as he goes through the year. And the way he's doing it is this one, this month, was the ash tree for the 18th of February to 17th of March. So I have my ash tree spread. So it was a straight spread for this one because he does them in the shape of the runes, or has been up until, and I believe this is probably a straight rune or a straight line on the rune. So he gives us a little intention. Help me stretch my own roots into the soil. Let me be grounded, grow and connect with other souls. Keep me stable, keep me upright. So he does a very beautiful little intention, and then his questions. So 5 questions here. Where do I get my strength from? What do I keep to myself? How can I balance my inner and outer self? How can I increase my connections? And a message from the ash. And he gives a little bit of information about the ash tree, which I've written in here as well. And so I've done my kind of spread here, and then my final thoughts. So I've just put, you follow your instincts, knowing when they are correct is what causes pause for thought and self-doubt. Worry of getting it wrong often stops you from acting and upon a feeling. Connect to the tree magic. You should spend time, listen to the silence, feel the strength, balance your emotions, healing, and allow the trees to help you find silence and resilience with a good grounded heart space. Did I actually write that? Gosh. Okay, so that's what I've written. And I haven't written it down as coming from somewhere else. And I normally leave this space for my thoughts and reflections. Maybe I did. Maybe I actually came up with that from a spread. Oh, I was feeling very deep. Like I said, weird energy this month. Here I have a week ahead spread. Second week into February, 13th to 17th February. So I do it Monday to Friday. And I'm trying out ways of doing it without too much ephemera on the page, or trying to get used to not having a picture of the spread. So here I have my embrace, my energy, my focus, my thoughts then for the week ahead. and then my reflections here, and here you can see the overall kind of oracle card that I've used to give me like a kind of summation of what's going on here. And then I've drawn part of the oracle card onto my card, which is a chess piece on kind of like a glitter ball with a key in the middle. So it's a very beautiful card. And then I've got my reflections here and what to take forwards from my lesson. So the lesson learned and what I need to take forwards. New moon in Pisces, again, nice and simple. And can you see the blue kind of bleeding through, can't you? When I said that I'm literally drawn to blue around this time of the year, of everything that I've got in my cupboard, this was the colours. So we have new moon in Pisces. So there's my spread there. So this one's from ethany.com. Use Tarot of Mystical Moments for this one as well. And then here is my reflections on the spread. I started doing this because I thought I might be able to take pictures of that if I wanted to digital journal, stick it into a digital journal and use it next time the new moon in Pisces comes up, basically, around this time of year. Here we have another week ahead, so nice and simple. Again, as you see it, so my cards, my summation of the cards, my oracle card is up here. And then my reflections, what was the energy of the week? What lesson did I miss? How can I take this forwards into the next week? So 3 questions there on my reflections, but nice and simple. And then is this my final one? Yes, it is. Monday the 27th to Friday the 3rd of March. And here we go. So my final spread, complete colour change. Can you see? I don't know if something happened. Did the planets move at this point? I can't remember. They might have done in this week. But there's definite change of energy from there to there in what I'm doing. So it's just, I find it really curious how the moon affects what I'm doing, or the planets affect what I'm doing, or like you can actually see a change in the tone of the journal as you go through. Because obviously I started out nice and plain from the last week of February. It's suddenly a little bit more somber, isn't it? Somber with greenery, somber and grounding, perhaps. Yeah. So here we are. So I've got my cards. It's not very easy to see actually. So I've got focus, energy, embrace. There's my summation, and then I've got reflections here, which again, the gold pen didn't write very well over that sticky stuff ephemera. And then I've got my kind of summation there, and then we are into March. So tarot journals. I might just actually keep this for reference for some cards because you might want to see what they looked like. Just having a look here. Sorry. Full moon magic spread. We could probably talk about that one. Okay, so for the full moon magic spread in Leo, I used the Tarot of Mystical Moments. So this one. Let's just pull you out a bit. So I've got that one, and Earthly Souls, Oracles. So I used that one as well, which I really quite like. And I did say that I found it to be the grounding card, or the grounding card, or the big brother, or the adulting card to Tarot of Mystical Moments. And what do we have? So we had Faith. I haven't actually written about that. I think I just left it as the keyword. There we go. So we have that one, which is a lovely card, artistically. And then let's see what the spread looks like here. So I'm just going to put you on pause a second while I pull out the cards. Okay, so position 1 is 8 of Swords. So that one goes here. I think you're going to be able to see all of this, just about. And this one is, where are you at this full moon? So we've got position 1, position 2. 3 cards came out for position 2. So how do I get all this in? I've not really done this before. I have to think about it. So I've got 10 of Swords, the Fool, and the Magician for position 2. Put that there. And then position 3 was the Star, so that's over here. Position 4 is the Chariot, so goes above. Position 5 is Page of Swords over here. Maybe if I do it that way. And then position 6, 2 cards. 4 of Cups and 5 of Swords. And then my overall energy, there we go, so I've got Faith. So number 1, as you can see, beautiful spread. These cards just look amazing out on the table, and you could easily like run a story between what you see in the images without kind of talking about the meanings to the cards really. And the guidebook does give good insights as well with the imagery to help give you further insight if you're stuck with how the, this Page of Swords is a Page of Swords. So it does give you further insight on what you're seeing in the cards to give you cue moments and information. So where are you at this full moon? So we are at 8 of Swords. I put feeling stuck and trying to see a way forwards. Makes sense, I'm just trying to like get out of some stuck energies, icky energies, I think I found the month to be. Number 2, so this card, this is the 3 down here. So what needs to be seen and known tonight? And specifically, so we've got 10 of Swords, the Fool, and the Magician. So just interestingly, I've just, like the kind of that feeling of hidden betrayal and feelings here. Maybe something I've been feeling in some way under attack. Just interesting, it's just where you are in the moment. And naiveties of situations, feelings of manipulation or not in control of the situation. So with the Fool, stepping into something that somebody's already kind of manipulating, you're not sure what's going on. And then we have the Magician there with, I've just put, need to be a bit more inventive and creative. You are the one that holds the power to create what you want to do and to come out of this stuck energy here. So it's down to you to come out of this. So that's what I put down for these. Card number 3, we have the Star, and this is what needs to be released. So stop feeling helpless, let go of inner conflicts and external conflicts. Just let go of stuff and allow yourself to be guided by the light of the moon. Then card number 4, so we have the Chariot. Such a great snail. What energy do you need to call in? So I've put here direction, confidence, direction. That's feeling of success that you need in order to bring in the confidence, leaving the past behind you, like moving forward. So you need to bring in the new energy, just shake off the old and keep going. You're heading in the right direction. So we're coming from a Star as well here. So it's like, yeah, keep going. It's all good. Then we have the number 5, which I have the Page of Swords. So what intentions need to be set? So that's quite interesting to get the Page of Swords. So I have put here personal growth and honourable goals, gaining new mental clarity about situations perhaps. Maybe that could be about the mood of the people that are around me, the mood of the world around me. So it's just like I just need to gain some clarity because I overthink things. So this is like, obviously I need some clarity both on my thoughts, my overthinking process, and the need, whether it's essential or not, in order to kind of go forwards. And then number 6, what magic will be made? I suppose following on from this card, so what magic can be made? So we've got 4 of Cups and 5 of Swords. So I have put perspective from time out. So she's very definitely taking some time out to herself. Although interestingly, it's lighter around her than it is under her shelter. So is she taking time out in the wrong place is a good question to ask when you look at this card. She has somebody clearly sheltering her, or are they the person that's keeping her in that like dull moment? Are they stopping her from freeing herself into a brighter situation? So perspective from time out offered by others with a way to move forwards when others are not acting with integrity. So there's that there as well. And we also have somebody here who's being shady in the background with the 5 of Swords. So somebody's perhaps not being as integral to you as needs be, and maybe keeping you in this weird place for reasons that are not known to you. So you're still looking for the clarity, but the guidance will come. But is that manipulative person? Is this the manipulative person back here that's keeping you over here? Something to think about. But the overall kind of residing there is faith. So have faith in the pathway in which you're going and what you're doing. So as I said, that was the full moon magic spread by the @newagehipster.co. And I actually quite like that. It made sense to me on the day. And this is why I don't really come back to my spreads afterwards, is because once I've sort of done this, they tend to not, the way I write and journal, because I'm not expressive, I'm just like kind of keywords and bullet points. you get to that point where you think, what did that bullet point mean again? You know, when you're studying and you write some really great bullet points down, and then you're like, oh, come back and read your notes. No, I don't understand what that means. Yeah, that's me. That's just how I journal. I don't think it's a bad thing, because, you know, I might get a gist of what's going on, but I might not fully understand where I was at that point in time. So that was using those two decks to do a spread. So I hope that gives you something to see. And then with regards to my daily cards, we had this one. So for daily card pulls, I was using the wonderful Book of Shadows, the Alchemist's Story deck by Andrea Asti. And this is the indie deck that I've done both a walkthrough of and a full review. So again, I'll link it somewhere if I remember. If not, you can just search for it. It's not far down on my videos. So these were my daily pulls, these cards. Let's bring it down and see the images. Just really nice and colourful. So I've just, you know, one a day, or if I remembered, this month. So these are the ones I use to journal in my Moon Diary journal with. Just take off the keywords for a kind of overview of what's going to go down throughout the day in my working energy at work. Something I can be aware of either within myself or within the energy of the workplace, just to kind of remind me really not to overreact if it's something that's petty or someone that's kind of goading me. So that's what I do find useful for my days and weeklies, is avoiding people that, you know, purposely bait you. And some days what I was using was the Enchanted Oracle, the Enchanted Unicorn Oracle, to go with this deck, just for a kind of keyword. Just they look nice together, I thought. They went quite well. They're both based on the Voynich papers, journals book. And this was based on a few other books as well, but because of that, this is why I think I liked it, because I could see similarities in art style, and I didn't realise until much later that they were based on the same book, and then I realised, well, yeah, makes a lot of sense then. Now, I haven't seen this book, so I don't know if these two people actually just have similar art, or if they have specifically managed to channel some art. But, you know, 7 of Cups with Cupcake. This is by Moon Priestess from Rockpool Trading. And this one is available from www.berethandbrimstone.co.uk or andreaasti.com website. And it's really not very expensive, because I think he covers the cover of postage in the cost of the deck. So for that reason, I think it's a really good one. And yeah, I just like this. I love the fun colours, the imagery. I used this a lot last year as a muse for drawing into my journals. It kind of just evokes that free-spirited, non-perfectionist pictures. Like, I just love the fact that the horses or unicorns, you know, they're not true to the way they ought to look. Their eyes are offset, they've got a mouth on the side of them, face, they've got human lips, you know, there's so many things about them. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be correct to the animal. You can make it up as you go along, because we don't see them with rainbows on their faces and stuff. So yeah, I really like this. So these are the 2 decks that I was using. Mostly it's just this, and then this one definitely at the start of the month, and I think as the month wore on I didn't, because I was kind of honestly running out of time trying to get my practice in, because of just got very busy, very busy. I hate it when life gets in the way. So my week aheads were these cards. So Tarot de Luz, this is a Fournier deck, and they are smaller than your normal standard tarot deck. And as many of you have come to realise, I like to use the extra cards to create a book so that I can keep the book there. I've cut out all of the extra pages, so I have sort of, I think I pulled it apart and then restapled it and took out the extra pages and then folded it back in this way. Or kept it to its original foldings. but I just had to manipulate what I was doing. But this does have all the card meanings in them. It's quite straightforward. And some of it's a little different to your standard meanings, but not a lot. It's not too far off your standard meanings. So if you like to use them, so that's there. So I just did that so that I don't, one, shuffle these extra cards into my deck. Two, I can use it to hold the tuck at the bottom of the box down because it sits that way. And, you know, it looks pretty. And then these are the cards. So when I say small, you know, they fit in. I've got very small hands. They fit into my hands. If anyone has the Angels, Earth Angels Oracle, they are literally, oh no, half a centimetre, maybe 8 millimeters bigger in length and a lot narrower. Let's just stick it on top of that, shall we? A lot narrower than a standard tarot deck. So yeah, so you can see what I mean. So we've got the little symbols, like planetary symbols, and the card meanings on these. These are really nice watercoloured deck. I was after the Ember and Aura. I really wanted the Ember and Aura Millennium Edition, is it? With the bigger images on. And it's just kind of gone out of my price range. I can't afford those sorts of decks. So for a long while I was wondering what would come along that's similar. Now this isn't quite the same images, yes I know, but it has a similar feel, I think, with the kind of watercolours, the gentle watercolours that are on it. So there's lots going on here. Excuse me, somebody's just come home making lots of noise. So yeah, so I really like this. So as a spread, you know, so if I did my cards, I just quite like looking at it. And then for my oracle card to go with on my weeks ahead, I was using the 7 Energies Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Again, it has a guidebook which is worth using, and these are nice bright colours, but lots of blues still in here. I think I had that one as one of my cards. I just think they're really pretty. So yeah, so I was using these. They're linked to the chakras, hence the 7 energies on the deck. But so just so we have 10 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, Knight of Wands with ears wide open. Ace of Swords, 3 of Pentacles with our 7 of Swords, Seeing Beyond. It's quite interesting then with the 2 swords. And the fact that that's a hare. That's, I think, the first 7 of Swords I've seen with a hare that isn't a specifically animal-based deck. So we have 9 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and a higher view. So you can see it's just a really, they kind of really went nicely together. Earth Magic with our 5 of Pentacles, our Queen of Cups, and our 6 of Wands. I like that card. We have our Queen of Swords, 9 of Wands, and the Empress with beautiful uncaging. So yeah, I hope that gives you some kind of ideas with that deck. I didn't pair it with anything else, to be honest. I only paired it with these. Or did I? 1 second. No, it was only with those. So that is the Tarot de Luz by, did I say? Eta Saraiva, if that's how I'm pronouncing it. I'm sure it's not. So tarot. These do shuffle really nicely. It is a really nice deck. Oh, Earth Magic. Just wondering where my disco ball is. You can never find anything when you want to find it, can you? There it is. That's the card that I drew into my journal, just for anyone that was wondering. I thought it was a really pretty card. So I've got that one. And the other two decks, bear with me. So we had the Wildwood Tarot, which I've shown many times now. This is just one that I'm using for the Ogum spreads from Richard at Longmans Tarot, because this is the deck that felt right to use for this, and I enjoyed using it throughout the month of January as well for my 3-card pulls a day for Mind, Body, Soul. So this one I continue to use for that, so it will be something that comes out at least once a month then for the rest of the year, and anything else I guess that I'm called to use it for. So this is the one that I'm using for doing that little series. So that's the Wildwood Tarot, and yes, I have been trying to incorporate some of the keywords that are on the bottoms of them, like rebirth, traditions, jealousy, just to see what I get, if it gives me anything extra. The other deck was this one, so Earth Angels Oracle by Amanda Clark, just as a daily inspirational kind of affirmation. So I have shown this one before as well. These are really, really pretty artwork. Grounding, grace, claircognizance. We've got here growth, herbalist, vulnerability, rebirth, transcendence, the moon, a bringer of light with our wishing tree. That's a brilliant spread. We have silvery light, motivation, fuel, freedom, with curiosity and misty lands. That's interesting. I actually pulled those out, I think, when I discussed the chariot card. Healing the natural world, summer solstice, a new day. You have the observer, and of course on the backs you have an affirmation on the bottom. So when I was talking about having an affirmation for the day, that's what I was doing. Or if I was just sat feeling a bit blank or a bit disheartened with the whole situation that was going on, because I did find it a difficult month, I'd pull one of these just to kind of give me a little pep talk or pep up. So not really what I would call an overly positive use. I wasn't using it to push myself into positivity to that point of it not really being true. I was using it to just focus my mind somewhere else, so I wasn't being so, stuck in the doldrums. So I act effectively and swiftly. So I just have a little read of that and then see how I think that maybe I can act effectively and swiftly for the day, or how I can implement that into my day. Some days it worked, some days it didn't, sometimes it was just the word on the other side. So yes, that's how I was using that. People who ask me about the things I've used this month for writing with, so it's these pens mostly, so they're just cheap, I don't even know what you call them. They're double-ended, brush pens, dual tip pens, markers, Tomaxis, Tomaxis, possibly. So I just use those. They're not the best brush pens, okay? For anyone that's looking for artists, they just kind of break apart and swish all over the page, but they are a good fine tip marker on the end, so I use them. I use that end mostly for writing and things, so I use those. And then from a pen's point of view, I actually use my just really old Parker rollerball refillable. I have my ballpoint Parker refillable. I think I've had these since I was 13. So I use those and these. So the zebra disposable fountain pens from the pack of 6 I got a year or 2 ago now. So I'm just trying to use them up. So those are the colours that I was pulling mostly this one. So you won't be surprised to see. And then all my ephemera is, as I say, it's stuff that I already own. So I've got some stickers in there. I've got some bits and bobs in here that are just, you know, stuff that's come from various shopping sites. Amazon. You can just type in washi stickers on Amazon, florals or botanicals, and there's just loads, and I just basically shop for the cheapest ones. That's all I do. And then I buy, you know, however it works out to be the cheapest. And that's what I do. And then I just shove them into my pencil cases, and I've got them to hand to use. So that's how I do that. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention was a book that I'm reading. I've started reading. I've mentioned it before, I think, but I have this one. So A Witch for All Seasons by Tutlin Penry. And she is a solitary witch who lives in Wales, and she produces these herself. So it's from the Wolf and Howl Press. I need to get that right. There we go. The Wolf and Howl Press. And she gives you a little dedication and a hello. She writes to you in the books. So I've got 4 from her. She's done that in every book that I have. I think they all say something different, in fact. So Witch for All Seasons. So going into this, it's her views, her kind of walk through her solitary path and how she's learnt, and her background as well to how she got to where she is. So the first introduction is all about the kind of history of witches. There's some stuff here about the, you know, the burnings, the questions that many people come to the path with, wanting to know what they're up to. So she does a bit of a background there. Here we have some like more history on, you know, historical witches and how they're all kind of deemed evil by the churches. After, interestingly, she has researched this, so I haven't done this yet, but in her words, she says that the churches at one point said that witchcraft was a bunch of nonsense, it didn't exist, it couldn't hurt you, and that people shouldn't believe in it. And then they did a full kind of 180 and decided that actually it was harmful, it did do this, it did do that, and then they joined in with the condemning of witches and witchcraft, and so we got to where we got to. And then this is where I'm up to. So I haven't really read past. So chapter 3 is Seasons of the Witch. So I'm looking to get into this. So I'm reading this slowly. This is only going to be like 1 or 2 pages a day for me. So it's going to take me a while to get through the book. Although it's not a big book, it's going to take me a little while to get there, because there's so much else going on in life right now. So if you're wanting to know about Witch for All Seasons, so the book is an intended guide to witches in all their seasons, maiden, mother, crone, or spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The author covers a wide range of topics, including suggestions for some useful rituals, adapting other ideas and gestures, magical ingredients from the ancient world, and how to include a little alchemy in our path. She also suggests some good habits that will make the magical and spiritual paths much easier, no matter what our season. All witches, but especially solitaries, need reliable help and advice from time to time. A Witch for All Seasons, written by a knowledgeable and experienced witch, will be an indispensable aid to any witch's library. So I do recommend, if you type into Google Wolf and Howl, the Wolf and Howl Press, WOLFENHOWLE, and then Press, PRESS. It comes up. If you follow the YouTube link that she puts on her YouTube channel, for some reason it didn't take me there and I couldn't purchase that way, so it took a little bit of persistence to get these. So yeah, and then she has a list of all her other books. So she's got some really interesting things to say. She's got some lovely perspectives, and she's got some great videos on her YouTube channel as well. She only speaks when she has something of use to say, as she puts it, and she does say don't be fooled by all the glitter and glam that we have in the world. Anyway, I will leave you there with that one. That's something to think about. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.